Hello, everybody. This is Donna Durbin with Clear English Coach. I'm glad you could join me for the first Monday accent reduction coaching lesson. Tonight is March the 6th, 2023, and we are going to look at vowels. And I'm just delighted to see everybody. It's always fun for me. So the house rules are I want you to be camera ready and leave your cameras on so we can see everybody. Mute yourself until it's your turn. And then if you've got questions, you can put them in the chat to practice with us and smile and have fun, because part of this is just about experimenting.
What I want to accomplish is be better understood when I speak in English.
I hope to accomplish is to speak clear English. I find myself, yes, repeating myself a lot.
Okay.
And there are some words that for some reason, I just cannot get them right.
Okay.
It's just sometimes when they're the same, they sound the same, even though they're spelled differently, you're supposed to say them differently. It's to me, they're the same, like.
Okay. So you really can't hear the difference.
I can't know.
Hear the difference. Okay.
No, and I try hard, and I have to, and sometimes I say it right, but I have to be conscious about it. I have to think about it so I can say it right. If I don't, I won't. And then people be like, what did you say?
Well,
It's kind of a little frustrating,
You're not alone. I'm sure a lot of you have to, but I have to congratulate all of you for learning a second language and functioning. I mean, actually getting jobs and working in another country and culture. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of hard work. And most Americans don't speak a second language, so they don't really understand the challenge. I actually have studied about 6 languages. I still admire all of you that come to work in an English environment.
I also want to stop repeating myself.
I can hear there's some very common challenges that non-native English speakers are dealing with, and that's why I try to do this, just to introduce people.
I hope to accomplish, like a lot of you, I hope to speak more clearly and be more confident about it.
It's a very supportive community because everybody is trying to improve. Friendly comparison. It's not to be critical of each other, but you can recognize that there may be people that speak clear and people that don't speak as clear. And yet what I find is that it just takes repetition and practice. And if the ones of you that like to exercise, it's the consistency of your exercising which uses these muscles and builds new neural pathways to your brain. Okay, so let me introduce myself a little bit. Most of you already know me, so just a few of you are new. I guess what got me into this field was the fact that I went to live in Thailand several years ago for 2 years and traveled around Southeast Asia. And I was learning to speak Thai. Thai is a tonal language, so it's similar to Chinese, but Thai has 5 tones. Chinese has 4 tones, from what I understand. And this was very confusing because I did not know what a tonal language was. What I had to learn to do was really listen carefully. And someone had to explain to me that it depends on whether the tone is going up, down, down and up, or up and down, or low or medium or high. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because it was ma, 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 ma. I mean, it would be like, that would be like 5 different words. And I'm like, oh, this is really confusing. Part of what I realized when I came back to the United States, I was already teaching ESL at University of Houston, and I taught speaking and listening. But our academic programs focus mainly on grammar, vocabulary, reading, and writing. They don't really pay attention much to pronunciation and accent modification. But I realized when I was trying to say the word for silver in Thai, I knew I had the word, I knew what the word was. I was asking for the market on Silver Street, and they kept looking at me and go, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. I realized that I could not physically know how to say that word for silver. It sounded like ngung to me, but it was like ng at the beginning of a word. And so the light bulb went off, and I thought, this is what happens to my ESL students. Is they know the grammar, they know the vocabulary, but when they say the word, Americans go, huh? We don't understand you. So it's the pronunciation. In 2010, I started focusing on only pronunciation and accent modification. If you would like to connect with me, please. I love being able to help people tweak that or just tease that innate ability of speaking a language, which we all have, back into your consciousness so that you can actually modify your accent so that it sounds more like an American can understand it. So it's not to completely remove your accent. We all have accents. I have an accent. That's not the problem. It's just if you can't get your message across, then you're not communicating. It's a two-way street and it's frustrating. And you guys have worked really hard. So I'm trying to correct that. So let's start with, what do you know about vowels?
They have
Right?
multiple sounds.
Multiple sounds, okay? How many
Yeah.
sounds do you know?
There are like 16, isn't it 16 sounds or
Yes.
different
Yes,
vowels?
I usually say there's 17, but some people say
Uh-huh.
16, but multiple sounds. Anybody else? What else do you know about vowels?
A, E, I, O, U.
I, O, U, and sometimes Y.
Yeah.
So Y can be a vowel too. What else? What do you know in the comparison between your vowels in your language and English vowels, American English vowels?
We pronounce it differently.
You
Like the
pronounce-
yeah, like the O for me, I would say like hello, like this, but instead of saying O, and it's just like O, the way our O sound,
Okay.
sounds is just O like that. So
Okay.
so it use like the A is totally different too. And the schwa sound, that's my problem there.
I'm gonna stop the share for a minute so that I can see everybody, and then we can go. So you just mentioned one of the biggest problems is the schwa.
Yes.
If you ask an American what the schwa vowel is, they won't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Did
because
you
I asked my
realize that?
husband.
They like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah, I asked my husband, he's native, speaker, English speaker, speaker. He will I asked him about schwa. He's like, what is that?
Exactly. So for a lot of this, Americans don't even know. And schwa is actually the most used vowel sound. We're going to talk about that. And it's it's an unstressed sound, and it's a placeholder for the vowel.
Why
But it
is it I
doesn't
cannot
say the
get
vowel.
that? I cannot get that. I don't know how hard I try to get it. I just can't get it. I don't know how to make that sound. It's so strange.
Well, that's what I work on, because part of it is it's the placement of your tongue and lips and the way you hold these sounds. So when you guys start to experiment with your speaking, it really is playing around. Be willing to just play around with your tongue and your mouth to do this. Anybody got anything else they want to say about vowels?
Yeah, I learned the hard way that if you don't pronounce the vowel in the way it is, you're saying something totally different that can get you in trouble.
Okay, so you're probably talking about beach and bitch.
No, I'm talking about, and I hope I'm saying it right. Focus.
Yes, or fuckus.
Yeah, and I
We
said
said
that
oh no.
in
you
a
got
parent and
lots of
teacher
response-
conference. Parent and teacher conference, and I say
Oh, how embarrassing. Oh, how awful. And this is something that I try to laugh with and lighten that up. So I don't want you to get so stressed about it, because you are not alone. You are not alone on doing that.
But then for focus, how you say it? Focus?
It's a long O, like you say O, like no. It's
Okay.
focus.
now
Like,
I say
focus.
center.
Focus. Do what?
I say center now.
Well, that's what happens, is a lot of times people will just change the word. You just find a substitute word. But I don't want you to have to do that. I want you to really recognize the difference. Okay, anything else about vowels? Because we're going to jump into the course. Okay, hello, Saliandra. I'm glad you joined us. Let's start with the basics. Shall you said it. A, E, I, O, U, and Y. And every word in English must have at least one vowel sound. Okay, it can have more vowel sounds in a syllable, but only say one vowel sound. And we have what we call short, long, diphthong, and schwa. Those are the 4 groups of vowels. And I know my Spanish speakers, you have 5 vowels and 5 sounds. They're consistent. It's not the case in English. We've got these others. So I try to make this really easy. So if you think about it, we have 5 vowel sounds and about 5 vowels and 17 different sounds. And one vowel can be a syllable by itself. So like the word no, hi, a, this is a word, a or In English, that's the schwa. So Yolanda, you were having trouble with schwa. Is schwa. It's like the same vowel in sun. And that's, so a is usually not said. We don't usually say a book. We say a book, because it's an unstressed syllable. Okay. So when we talk about you only have one vowel sound, when we have this word beautiful, E-A-U says you, you, beau. This I, which is the one that gives everybody trouble, is schwa, because it's 3 syllables. Beautiful, beautiful. And this I turns into and then full. So we've got a vowel, we've got a syllable here, a syllable here, and a syllable here. 3 syllables. Beautiful. Do you guys know the difference between the syllables? How to recognize a syllable? Now think about all vowels are voiced, which means your vocal cords are engaged, and your tongue doesn't touch anywhere in your mouth for vowels, but it changes from up high down to low. It moves like this. So when you say A-E-I-O-U, you're not touching anywhere. It's just your tongue is moving from high to low. So we've got front vowels, middle vowels, and back vowels. And all it is the way you place your tongue. So think about the difference between voiced and unvoiced. Does everybody know what I mean when I say voiced and unvoiced? Okay, I see some nods. So if you put your hand on your throat and you say the word, let's see, say teeth.
Teeth.
Just the t sound. So there is no vibration, but if you say the D sound, T and D are in the same location of your mouth, but bump right behind your tongue. D. If you put your hand on your throat, D, you get a vibration. D. That's voice. So when you do A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, do you feel the vibration? So these are voiced consonant, voiced vowels. Vowels are all voiced. Now the sounds differ by the distance between the lips, the shape of the lips, the position of the tongue, and the length or duration of the time it's held. So this little chart right here shows you this is the front, this is the central, this is the back. So if you look at this little guide here, E, which is the IPA symbol, is the I, but it's this E. It's the highest vowel, E. So everybody go E, E. And see if you can tell where your tongue is. Can you feel where your tongue is? It's almost at the roof of your mouth. E, 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 E. Okay. So it's not, so don't, it's E, E. It's the highest one. Now, if I drop this down just a little bit, I'm going to get E, E, E. So we go E, I, A, O, or ah. This is long O is O, short O is ah. Short E is short A is ah. And the dark vowel at the back is ah. So we're going to look at these. Let's see. E, I, A, U, O, ah, ah. So all of these are the main vowel sounds. Now I don't have all of the diphthongs in here, but these are your main short and long. So what we're going to talk about today is break these down into the rules for long vowels and short vowels to give you kind of a good start on it, because there are some guidelines that you can follow. Any questions so far? No? Okay, good. Okay, diphthongs are 2 vowels combined with different tongue movements and the shape of the mouth to get sounds that are like simultaneous sounds. So oi, oi, and it can be spelled O-Y or O-I, like boy. I, and if you notice, I'm really opening my mouth because I want you to see. If you want to pin me to make me bigger, go to my picture and click the 3 dots, and you can pin me, and that makes my image bigger. I, because the way I teach this, guys, is that it is a physical movement. I, and you notice the tip of my tongue stays touching my bottom teeth. Ow, ow, ow. So this is for like bow and cow. I'm moving my lips and my tongue. Ow. And then this is you. So it's almost like EU, you. And these have different spellings. So together with me, try Troy, Cloyd, soy. That's the oi. Try, Clyde, sign. Trowel, cloud, sow. Now this word can also be pronounced sow. Sow is when you plant seeds. Sow is a female pig. So in English, we've got homophones, things that they're spelled differently, but they're pronounced exactly the same. True, this is the U, true, clued, sue. So usually it's these combinations that will let you know that it's different. Thing about English is it's not always consistent, unfortunately, but there are some rules that break the rules. And then schwa, which is noted by this upside down E, is the most used vowel sound in English. And any vowel, A, E, I, O, U, and Y, can be just neutral So if your tongue is just flat, and you just let air come across your vocal cords, that is schwa. So it just holds the place of the vowel in the syllable, but it doesn't sound like the vowel. It's this quick, unstressed, relaxed, like in sun, okay? Part of it is it's hard to recognize it, but I will tell my Spanish speakers, I've noticed that more often than not, it's when it's the I is schwa is when they get confused and say E, because your I is pronounced E, right? Our I is either pronounced I, or schwa, short I, or long I. Okay, so it's not consistent. So why are they so hard to hear? It's like notes on the piano. They're really close together. The more distance we have between the notes or between the vowels, the easier it is to hear them. So Yolanda, that's why you have trouble between bet, bit, bat, bot, and but, right? The same spelling, I just changed the vowel, A-E-I-O-U. Bat, bet, bit, bot, but.
Yes.
Right?
Donna.
Yes, Yolanda.
Yeah, I have a question about that. See, I mean, we used to tell Iraq, and here we tell Iraq, right?
Yes.
Son, S-U-N-S-O-N. How
They're
do you
both
pronounce?
pronounced exactly the same. That's a
Yeah.
homophone. They're pronounced the same. It's just the spelling lets us know it's a different definition.
So how do you differentiate that?
Because S-U-N means the sun, the shining planet and the hot thing in the can't even talk. But the sun that shines on us, and S-O-N is representing your son, like your daughter and your son. But they're pronounced exactly the same.
Oh, okay. And what about cell, and cell?
Well, let's do the course, and then we can see if we have time for that, okay? Because
Okay.
some of these are tricky. Why don't you put that in the chat so I can
No.
come back to it, okay?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, it's a complimentary thing.
So what I'm going to try to do in this is explain to you, how many of you have had phonetics? Have any of you had phonetics? Great. So phonetics was the way I learned to read as a child. And it gave us some rules to follow with the vowels and the consonants so that I knew kind of the consistent rules. And so this is what I find a lot of my foreign students haven't really had phonetics. So I'm going to try to break this down into very simple steps. And it can be complicated. I mean, there's whole books on this, but I want you to just think about it. The phonetic rules are a tool for reading and spelling and speaking that will help you with pronunciation and the syllables in a word. because we think about the C stands for consonant. The V sounds for vowel. So vowel is these 5 or 6. Consonants is everything else. So if we break it down into these rules, the long vowels say their name. They say A, E, I, O, U. Long vowels say their name. A, E. Everybody say it with me. A, E, I, O, U. These are what we call our long vowels. And there's some rules for how we recognize a long vowel. So here's the rules. Here's this rule: ape, eagle, ice, open, use. Do you hear the vowel? Ape, eagle, ice, open, use. Now, the rule is that when we have a consonant and a vowel, if the vowel ends the word or the syllable, we call that an open syllable because the vowel is at the end. So if you look at these words, she, my, so Y has 3 sounds. It can say I, E, or Y. That's what we call a consonant vowel, Y. Because we have my, I have yes, and I have bunny, right? B-U-N-N-Y. So Y actually has 3 different sounds. Go, no, hi, we, she. Now this is 2 syllables, hero. But if you look at this word, if we divide it into 2 syllables, we have the E ends this syllable and the O ends this syllable. And it's open because the vowel is the last sound on that syllable. So we have hero. This is label. So this is not label. This is label, and we're going to look at this because this is surrounded by consonants. This vowel turns into what we call a short vowel. Ball. Okay. So label. Does everyone know how to syllables are like the beats? Label. Who was it that said the word? Marcella, I think it was you that said university. And when you said university, somebody said university. Who works for the, oh, no, it's Adriana.
I think it was me. Yeah.
And so Adriana, how many syllables does university have? University. University. It has 5 vowels. Where are the schwa? U, na, that's a schwa. U, na, ver, sa, that's a short I, T, that's your Y. So TY it ends in the Y, so it's an I, university, or an E. That one, the vowel is, the Y is an E. So when you said it really quickly and I didn't hear all the syllables. So say the word university.
University.
Okay, now you say university, and I want you to try to say university. University.
University. University.
University. Okay. So University of Texas, right?
Yes.
So that's what I would call one of your high frequency words. It's a word you use often. So I want you to write that word down, look it up in dictionary.com. It's a free app you can put on your phone and listen to the way they say it and look at the way they spell it, because they will spell it phonetically, not with the IPA, but phonetically. Okay. So this is one of the things. So the long vowels, like we had, right. One rule is consonant, vowel. The vowel ends the consonant, ends the syllable. The second rule is that we have a silent E. Now this confuses my Spanish speakers because you pronounce every vowel in every word, right? Well, we don't. We have this consonant, vowel, consonant E, or vowel, consonant E, silent E rule. And this is a rule that you can watch for. Words that end in this E, the vowel is usually long and the E is silent. So let's look at these words. Same. You hear the A? Same. Home. Oh, home. Use. Here. Line. 8. Delete. Now here we've got 2 syllables. D ends in the vowel. Delete. But this silent E makes this vowel a long vowel sound. Kite. rope, mute. So this E makes this a U instead of an Otherwise, this would be mutt, but this E makes this a long vowel sound. This would be kit. If I didn't have the E, the word would be kit instead of kite. In this word, if I didn't have the E, what would the word be? At. Here it's 8, and it's pronounced the same way as E-I-G-H-T. The number 8 is pronounced, and why I don't know. I don't know why it's spelled that way. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I do know that this silent E rule is really important to pay attention to. Okay. Another rule is when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So I put this is a little thing we said as kids. So you look at these words, we have two vowels in the middle here. This means that they're two vowels together. This O is what gets to talk. Boat, pain, green. I don't see people's lips moving. Green, dream, restrain. Now here's the A. This is a two vowels, so it's R. Restrain, not restrain. I don't know why, but restrain. Team, die, throat, and pay, because this Y is a vowel. In this word, it's a vowel, pay. Any questions? So far we have two main rules. We have a silent, well, we have three. Open syllable, the vowel ends the syllable, silent E, and two vowels together. Those are the three main rules for long vowels. Short vowels. Okay, short vowels are the ugly goat sound, ba, ah. And you drop your chin, and it comes from the front of your mouth, like an apple, cat, chance. The E is an like egg, bed, red. Now I want you to try your mouth and do the and see how slight the movement is between your tongue. Do E, There's more movement between those two sounds, so they're easier. But is not much movement. Then we have it. So not much movement. What I'm doing is so I do So experiment. Can you make your tongue just move down? It's slight. And then we have short O in English is not O, but we drop our chin and get So ox, cop, stop. So this O, short O, is It's either O, or That any vowel can be which is the schwa, but it's either going to be O or This is going to be I or I. This is going to be E or E. This is going to be A or A. And then this is the U, which is the schwa, which is sun, up, cup. Now, when we have short vowels, we have consonant, vowel, consonant. This is considered a closed syllable because it's surrounded. The vowel is surrounded by consonants. Okay, so they are short, what we call short. So this is an, on, up, it, pat, pet, pit, pot, put. Close, right? So it's right. It's a different word. If you change that vowel, it can be sounds like a different word for us. Marcella, you got a question?
Yeah, can you repeat the last one, please?
This one, this is put, not put, but put. This is put, like you golf, in golf, you put the ball. Put, P-U-T, is an exception to the rule. P-U-T, put. And that's more like our relaxed double O sound. Like foot, right? Put, foot, but this is put. Questions? Okay. So that's number one rule for short vowels. Number two rule, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. This is a closed syllable. Closed syllables mean consonants are on both sides again. So we have words like fast, jump, west, silk, pond. You hear the O? Ah, pond. Not pond, but pond. Drop your chin. Ah, pond. Drop your chin. Ah, so we've got schwa, which is neutral, ah. So that's schwa, which is short O, which is ugly goat, American goat sound, Those are the three primary distinguishingly different American vowels. And if you can do those, you won't really, the I gives Spanish speakers trouble, but it's the short I, which is the I, and your brain wants to do your Spanish I, which is E. It doesn't mean we don't understand you, but we know you're not an American speaker. Now, here's another short vowel rule. When we have more than one syllable and the vowel is closed in by syllables, by consonants, both vowels are usually short. So we have cabin, river, lemon, budget. You guys know these words. You just didn't have anybody probably explain to you why you're having to pronounce them this way, right? So again, if you divide this, we have C-A-B-I-N, but this still, the consonant ends the word, not the vowel. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. When two consonants appear together, we divide the word between the consonants. So the vowel is closed in, so it's short, usually short. So we divide between the consonants. So common, common, comma, common, hunger, picnic, short I, picnic, surrounded by consonants, campus, napkin, husband, okay, husband. It's not husband, it's husband, husband. So here it's more like a schwa, husband. Usually this unstressed syllable, so it's husband. 90% of our two-syllable nouns are stressed on the first syllable, which means it's la, common, hunger, picnic, campus, napkin, husband. All of those are two-syllable nouns. So what happens with some of you is that your intonation is not clear enough for our ears to hear it. Okay, so let's look at some, okay, how are we holding up? Doing okay? Okay, so this is long vowel silent E. So let's do it together. My, oops, my, no. So my, no, be, high. Those are all long vowel sounds. The vowel ends the word. Silent E, eight, note, kite, cute. I just couldn't think of a word that went with the E here. Okay, so long vowel, two vowels together, bait, coat, beat, sue. Short vowel, closed vowels, at, cop, bet, hit, cut. Short vowel close with the surrounded by vowels again, fast, stop, west, silk, jump. Short vowel close divided in the two syllables, campus, common, picnic, husband. Any questions on this? No? Okay, so let's look at these. So here's the contrast between the short and the long vowel. So let's see. Maria, read across for me. Read the top row.
Bit, bite, cup, cube, cut, cute, glob, glob.
Well, it's a long O.
Glob.
Globe. It's going to say
Globe.
O. Globe, like the globe, a world globe. Right. Okay. Marcella, read the second row.
Cop, cape, John, Jane, Sam, same, sack, sage.
Okay, so this G is what's giving you trouble, and that is our American J sound. It's a soft G, which is J. Sage.
Sage.
Sage. So put your tongue up where you would do a D, and do J. J.
J.
So for
J.
you, it would be the J sounds that you would want to work on, because I'm hearing that your tongue doesn't want to do the voiced J. So CH is ch and J is J.
J.
Same tongue movement.
Yeah.
J,
J. J.
J. Okay, Adriana, do the next row. Good job.
Man, main, hacked, hate, mad, made, sit, sight.
Excellent. Okay, no problems. Okay, Joie, next row.
Pop, hope,
Okay, this is pop,
hop,
hope.
hope,
Mhm.
not,
Okay, it's your ah is ah. In short O is ah.
not,
Not, drop your chin. Ah,
Not.
not.
not, not, note,
Uh-huh.
tap,
Good,
tape,
good.
fact,
Uh-huh.
fate,
Excellent. Okay, let's see if we got some others here. Okay, Yolanda, I'm mixing them up. Go across.
8, gate, at, cat,
Good. Okay. It's Christy, it's Shrishti.
Yes, you got it right.
I'm trying. I gotta shift the gears a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. It's be, beat, bet, better.
Okay. So better. We're going to turn these middle T's into a D, and it's 2 syllables. So better,
Better.
better. So this stressed
Better.
syllable is going to be a fraction of a bit longer. Better.
Better.
So you got the vowels great. So what I'm doing is the timing now, that rhythm that's in it. Okay, Celiandro. I still have to practice your name. I'm not quite good at your name yet.
No, it's Shalendra.
Celindro.
Yeah.
Okay, this
So-
row.
Okay, it's hey,
Now this is a long I. It's, remember, open syllable. Hi.
hi, pie,
Mhm.
feet,
Hit.
it.
Good. Okay, let's see. Did everybody have a chance to try it? Okay, so we are running out of time. So let's look. What questions do you still have about vowels?
Donna, I have a question.
Sure.
The exercise was great, but like, how do we practice it and how do we remember it while, having everyday conversations?
Well, everyday conversations is going to come later, but
Okay.
you practice it by intentionally going and Googling, like, give me a list of words with short I, a list of words with short E, a list of words. Now I've got, actually, I will share with you, I have a vowel course that's going to go through all of this. Let me just show it real quickly. I have a Vowels and Phonics 7-day kind of crash course that goes through much more of this practice for $47. You don't get a lot of feedback, but you get cheat sheets. So in other words, this list that I've got with all the number 1, 2, 3, we go through it and I give you cheat sheets about all of these lists, because this is something that I realized so many of my clients did have problems with vowels. And I thought, how can I create something that can give them a way to practice over and over and over again? But you can still do it by, listing. I've got more lists of words in that. Way you practice is by repetition and reading out loud. Most of us as adults do not read out loud, and reading out loud uses these muscles in a way that you do when you're speaking, but consciously allows you to start using these muscles. So it exercises them, and it also helps to train your ears to listen. Record yourself. Read something simple. It can be emails, it can be children's books. It doesn't have to be complicated, because you want to break it down and really do the most obvious words possible to start to really get your brain trained. Okay. Does that answer a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then also put in dictionary.com. Dictionary.com is a free app that you can put on your dictionary.com is a free app you can put on your phone. And I like it. And I like to have people have the same tool, because then you have a chance to hear the same things, and they will spell the words for you in phonetics, the way they sound, not the way they're written necessarily. Who else learned? What did you have questions about with vowels? No other questions? I could not have done that good of a job.
One more question, Donna. So how do we access this class recording? And like, if I just want to practice with the class recording and the activity we did in the class, how do I access it? I'm asking this because I'm new.
If you have not joined the first Monday coaching course yet, that's the first time is free. But then to stay enrolled in the course and get the replays, it's a monthly subscription. You stay in, like you can look at it. It may take me a couple of days to get it posted, but you'll look in the webinars in the Rizuku and you'll find all the past lessons that we've done. And then you can watch this same replay. Yeah, that's the advantage of being in the course. You also get reminders first Monday again, and it's time to come. Okay, so what did you guys learn? What did you learn tonight? Anything new that you learned?
Vowels are hard.
Now, why are they hard? Why do you think they're hard?
Well, of course, there's many sounds for the same vowel, and for us Spanish speakers, it's hard. But also, I don't think Americans pronounce the vowels the same way. Like, you know, like you say, for example, man, and I hear people say man, or you know, different
It's usually
sounds.
going to be it's usually going to be man, because there's a difference between man and men, and they're very close, that A and that E, man, men.
Or for example, you say, you know, it's an article, but like a car, and I hear people say a car.
A. We typically are going to use the schwa, the instead of the A.
Okay.
But I hear most of my non-native English speakers have been taught to say A instead of
yes.
Right? So it's just making adjustments. And again, different parts of the country have different accents, right? There's regional accents all over. So you're getting, I mean, this is not like a Northwestern accent or a Boston accent. I have a Southern accent because I've lived in the South most of my life. I try not to speak with a Texas twang. Like I don't speak like this, like I've got a really strong twang like that, because that sounds really ignorant. Right.
Well, I live in Texas too, so that's.
You live in Texas too, and most of my clients. I mean, that's part of. I live here, so I'm not gonna promise you that you're gonna have a California accent, but to let you know, to kind of neutralize, you have to just train your ears to hear differently. So they're only hard because they're new. Okay, try to break them down so that they're long. Say their name, A-E-I-O-U, and Y. Well, Y again is 3 different sounds. And then the short vowels, and then the diphthongs, which are very specific. That we have relaxed double O and tense double O. And if you take the vowel course, I go through all of those to give you kind of, and again, it's try to keep it as easy and simple as possible. Okay, what did you learn? Did you learn anything new tonight that's going to help you?
Yeah, I didn't know we had so many sounds for the vowels in English.
Welcome to American English.
Yeah. So, and I have a question. How is this vowel 7-day vowels and phonics class? It's in person. How many hours a day, or how does it work?
It is a self-paced course. You will get a new group of lessons and activities every day for 7 days. And then you have access to the full course for a lifetime. So you can go over it as many times as you want. I would not expect you to be able to master each one of them in 7 days, but I try to give it to you so that the information is there and that you can go over it. But all of my courses, the lessons are anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 minutes. Oh, they're not long. You're not going to have to sit there for 2 hours and listen. No, they're little bite-sized lessons because we don't have the attention span for that. Okay. And what will you take away tonight? What will you practice? Let's see. Okay, we've already done the first Monday. You guys know about the first Monday. If you are interested in more, I do have a full comprehensive course called the ABCs of an American Accent. And it lasts you get new lessons every 2 days, and it goes on for 3 to 4 months. But it's an intensive, I just had some people that tried to do it in 3 months, and they said, man, you have to stay on top of it. And they said it takes more than 30 minutes a day, because I break it down into small bite-sized pieces, but the goal is for you to master each one of them before you move on to the next one, to the next lesson. Although I've got even my type A personalities will go through it and then they go, oh, I need to go back through it again because I rushed through the lessons. If you're interested in that, I would love to talk to you more about it if you haven't done it. I have a quick 5-day class. How many of you have done the 5-day class? Okay, Adriana, what do you think about the 5-day class?
I think it's very useful. I practice it every day. I try to use those lessons. Yeah.
Okay, because part of that is it's the very basic kinds of lessons that everybody needs to start becoming conscious of. And it's the same little sample course that would come from the ABCs course. It's just a small little, like 2 or 3 small lessons, but you get the mouth and tongue exercises. So if you are not doing my mouth and tongue exercises, that's going to make the biggest difference in your improvement, because you have to retrain these muscles to work differently so that you can speak differently. It's not rocket science, but just think about it. You started speaking when you were 1, 2, and 3 years old, and you don't have to think about it anymore, thank goodness. But when you start to change your accent, you have to become conscious of these behaviors and these habits to learn new habits. So it's not that it's difficult. It's like going to the gym. For those of you that like to work out, if you didn't go work out except once a week, what would happen to your muscles? Or if you skipped 3 or 4 weeks, what happens to your muscles? They regress. And then you have to build back up again. So it's not intellectual, it's physical. And so it just takes repetition. So this is what I found. My students that have the most success are the ones that really are consistent with their practice. And then you start to adapt that into your daily life. But if you read out loud and you consciously start to pay attention, make a list of the words you use all the time that are your high frequency words, are the words that people ask you go, huh? They ask you like, what? Then there's a pattern in that word that's going to be the same consistent pattern in other words. And once you correct that, you correct those other words. So I try to help you identify what is that, and different languages have different language challenges. Schwa, you were at the last one, so you recognize. Maria, I think you were there too, right? When we talked about the language differences, but everybody's got the same common American English speaking they're trying to accomplish. So that's what you all have in common. Any other questions? So I'm going to take a picture. So I have a record. So everybody get on the camera and smile. Okay, let's get the light good so we can smile. 1, 2, 3. And I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. Unmute and give me quick feedback and say goodbye. And I hope to see you next Monday if I don't see you before that. Anything else? So Maria, thanks for coming. Marcella, how many times have you come, Marcella?
Oh, this is my first time.
This is your first time. Oh, excellent. Okay, Schwa, we've lost count of how many times you've come. And Maria, you come quite a few times.
Yeah, I think this is my 3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th,
maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really enjoy them. I think you make this a lot less. You make it fun and very interesting.
I try to really keep it simple. There's no sense in making it more complicated than it already feels. Let's just make it simple and direct. Adriana, how about you? How many times have you come? I know I've seen you around.
This is also my 3rd time, and I really like it that it's only once a month, because I have enough time like to practice or to start adding some changes like slowly but more consciously. So I like to have it only once a month.
Excellent. Well, I try to do that as kind of giving people a chance to just try it out and see, how much they really want to do. And you're right. It takes concentrated effort, but there's no sense in rushing it. You want to just develop that. And Schwa, we've lost count for you. Any last minute comments?
It's very useful for me. Yes.
I'm glad. You've
I
done a
learned-
lot.
Yes. Long vowel ha.
Vowel.
Vowel, long vowel. Yes, 3 types.
Dark L is what the trouble is. The tongue has got to move from the oh.
Oh, vowel.
Not vowel. It's not an O. It's O.
Vowel. Oh.
Vowel.
Vowel.
Vowel. Whoa.
Whoa.
There you go, better.
Whoa.
In fact, this is coordination. This is just muscle coordination. So use a mirror when you're doing the mouth and tongue exercises. Use a mirror and make sure you start to watch your mouth and tongue, because that's the only way your brain can see that you're trying to change something. So otherwise it doesn't, you think you're doing it, but you're not doing it. And Trishti, what about you?
I think it was really good. You taught a lot in a short amount of time, and I appreciate that. And looking forward to more sessions, more like Monday calls.
Good. So this is once a month on the first Monday of the month. So if you're in it, you will get reminders from Rizuku. And if you're not, and you're on my email list, which most of you are now, you're getting MailChimp reminders from my newsletter.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, you guys have a great week and practice, practice, practice.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.